Hi guys. So today is exciting because a friend of mine who owned a pottery studio just closed down, and she gave me a kiln. So my very first kiln. So I'm so excited. It's a tiny little kiln, which is perfect for me at home. And today we're going to fire it to see if it works. So the kiln was gifted to me, and it's never been fired up. It was donated to her, and she already had a kiln, so she never used it. And so she now passed it on to me, and we are going to find out today if it works. If it does, it's really, really cool because now I could fire my own pieces here at home, since the nearest studio is about 2 hours away. So that's kind of inconvenient. So tune in, let's find out if it works. So this is the kiln. She is a Scut 614-3, and she can be plugged into a regular electric socket with a specified amp. So it's got this type of plug. So luckily we already had this in the house. You can see we already had this capability in the house, so it didn't need any special wiring. So we will put her together now and see if she works. I am keeping her in my she shed where I have my pottery studio, and then I'm just rolling her outside so that when I fire her outside. There's plenty of ventilation and no fear of anything catching on fire. Hopefully. Here we go. So I bought the replacements, and they just slide right on in, hopefully. No, they don't. Okay, so I had bought the replacement because I only had one of the little cone holder, and it was too thick. And of course I took it to my husband, and of course he had the perfect tool and was able to grind it down. For you guys who are my age, you'll remember a show named MacGyver. My husband is real life MacGyver. So he was able to fix that, and crisis averted. So in my last fire at my pottery studio, I had these pieces that came out, and the colors were beautiful. It's hard to tell because I put some glaze over it, but it had these pinholes. You could see one right there, another one there, one there, but more importantly, it did this weird crazing type of thing there where it had these two holes. So I just filled it with glaze, and I just put an extra layer of glaze to see how it works. And these are going to be my test pieces, because since I don't know how this is going to work, these are pieces that weren't working anyway. This little mug, again, I wasn't really crazy about the colors, but it's a cute little mug, but it is full of pinholes all over. So regardless if this works or not, this would not have been a keeper, so I'm willing to sacrifice it. As well as this one. Again, I think the colors came out gorgeous, but again, full of pinholes. And it did get a crack and one at the bottom that wasn't there. And I don't know if it's my imagination, but I feel like the crack keeps getting worse. But again, these are pieces that I'm willing to sacrifice on this test run of the kiln, since they're not keepers anyway. So I'm going to place them down. I put in a bottom shelf just to elevate it so that there's ventilation underneath. And let's go. I'm going to load it up. So since these are refires, I don't know how the glaze is going to act. They were pretty stable when I fired them the first time, but you never know, they could run. So I got these Advancer shelf cookies. Now they didn't have Advancer shelves for this kiln because of the size. It's too small. They don't make them. So I'm gonna put these pieces on cookies just as a precaution. I forgot to mention, and I should bring this up, I purchased these advancer shelves. Well, I got the cookies, I couldn't get the shelf, from a video that I saw from Jeanette Stevens at Far Forest Ceramics, and she's got a code for them, and it saves you, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 10%, and that's substantial because these are pretty pricey. So if you're interested in advancer shelves, and you want to make the investment, head on over to her channel. She's got her code. I forgot what it is. I'm sorry. I'll post it in the description if I have it. But they are very kind. They're very eager to work with you, and they will give you the discount even if you're in the U.S. So look for that. I ended up playing around with the stilts and the height because you got to be careful of your kiln sitter. So I had to use higher stilts than I think I needed, but that's good. That seems stable enough. And my shell and my last piece on here. That should be plenty of room. And there you go. Loaded our little shelves, and we are ready to fire her up. Wish me luck. Moment of truth. It's on. So early this morning, I opened this so that it can vent, but I have not peeked inside, and honestly, I'm dying to know. I think something went wrong with the cone, the pyrometric bar, because it did not shut off automatically, as you can see here. So I'm kind of worried as to how the pieces came out, but these were refires, and they were sacrificial lambs, so we shall see how they came out. I don't know if it's hot still or not, so just in case. Okay, well, they didn't melt. So it did fill in the inside. I still see kind of like a little indent there, but it's not a pinhole. I think it worked. No, I do see a little bit of texture. There's still a little pinhole there. Okay, that is one. This is still covered in pinholes. The color did change a little bit, and it did run some more, but still covered in pinholes. It definitely did not reach cone 6, or at least the bar did not melt down, but let me see. Yeah, see, so again, it started to melt down some more drippage, I guess you could see. It looks beautiful, but definitely still full of pinholes. It's still like tingling. Oh yeah, it is in the light. I could see it. It is covered in pinholes now, even worse. So I'm gonna bring you in so you can see. So there's the pyrometric, I'll never be able to say that, cone, and it did not bend not even close. So I see also some sagging down there on my elements. So I think I'm going to let it completely cool down and then take everything out. And I bought some pins for those elements, and I'm going to put them in and do another test fire. So that was our first firing, and okay, I learned some stuff. We'll see. We'll try it again and see what happens. Stay tuned. Please subscribe.